This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. U.S. troops crossed into Iraq early on Monday, part of a withdrawal from northeastern Syria ordered by U.S. President Donald Trump. Reuters' Francesca Linall reports.
U.S. troops crossed into Iraq on Monday as part of a withdrawal from Syria that was ordered by President Donald Trump. A move that opened the way for Turkish troops to launch an offensive against Kurdish fighters in the area. Some Syrian civilians threw stones and shouted abuse at a convoy as they headed towards the border. Nearly 1,000 soldiers are leaving the northeast of the country to continue the campaign against Islamic State militants in Iraq. Though on Monday, the Pentagon said it was looking into keeping some U.S. troops there to ensure that oil fields did not fall into the hands of Islamic State or others.
That's Reuters' Francesca Linall reporting. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was prevented Monday from holding another vote on his Brexit deal. Reuters' David Doyle has more.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson faces a potentially perilous process of ratifying his Brexit divorce deal in Parliament.
Order!
After the Speaker of the House of Commons refused to allow a vote on it on Monday. John Bercow said a vote would not be permitted as the same issue had been discussed 2 days earlier.
The ayes have it!
When lawmakers turned Johnson's big Brexit day into a humiliation. Saturday's vote means that Johnson's government now has to bring forward legislation in order to get the deal passed. That gives the PM's opponents the opportunity to make amendments that could make the withdrawal deal unpalatable to a large swathe of Johnson's own party.
That's Reuters' David Doyle reporting. Hong Kong officials are apologizing to Muslim leaders today after riot police sprayed a mosque and bystanders with water cannon while trying to contain pro-democracy demonstrations on Sunday. From Washington, D.C., you're listening to VOA News. With just over a year left until the 2020 U.S. presidential election, Facebook is stepping up its efforts to ensure it is not used as a tool to interfere in politics and democracies around the world. AP's correspondent Shelley Adler reports.
Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg says they've made big changes since the last presidential election.
We've gone from being on our back foot to now proactively going after some of the biggest threats that are out there. We built systems to fight interference that we believe are more advanced than what any other company is doing.
In a conference call, Zuckerberg says they've already disposed 50 clusters of fake accounts.
The initial clusters that we saw were primarily from Russia. And more recently, we have seen increasing sophistication and attacks emanating from Iran and China as well.
And there will also be a special security tool for elected officials and candidates that monitors them for hacking attempts. I'm Shelley Adler.
Canadians voted today to determine whether Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who swept into office 4 years ago as a charismatic figure, will remain in power after two major scandals. Zachary Goldman reports.
Canadians on Monday vote to determine whether Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gets to keep his job.
I am very excited and confident about the choice Canadians are making.
Trudeau's 4 years in office have been dogged by criticism of his handling of a corruption case and his image tarnished after pictures emerged of him wearing black and brown-faced makeup more than 2 decades ago. Polls show Trudeau's Liberal Party in a neck-and-neck race with the opposition Conservatives, led by Andrew Scheer.
Justin Trudeau has divided Canadians, he's divided provinces, he's failed to stand up for the types of big ideas, the big projects that can bring this country together.
That's awesome.
If no party wins an outright majority of seats in Parliament, Trudeau may have the chance to stay in office, but with a minority government.
That's Zachary Goldman reporting. The top American commander in Afghanistan said Monday that the United States has quietly reduced the size of its troop force by 2,000 in the country over the past year. But General Austin Scott Miller said the remaining military personnel are still capable of reaching their stated objectives of fighting terrorist groups and training Afghan forces. Miller made the statement in a joint news conference with the U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who was in Kabul on an unannounced visit. Also Monday, Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani met with U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and a group of American lawmakers in their unannounced visit to the country. The Afghan government said that Ghani thanked the delegation for the U.S.'s continued financial and political support for Afghanistan over the past 18 years. I'm Marissa Melton. You're listening to VOA News.